Today we're going to talk about music, things you need to understand before starting your musical journey. It's going to be a good one. Let's go. Thanks to everyone who have been watching my videos and sharing it. It really goes a long way. I see you guys. I really appreciate it. So let's get straight into this video. Talking music. I'm very passionate about music, especially gospel music. What we're about to talk about today can be applied to anybody in the music industry or anybody who is interested in music. But I'm going to specifically target the gospel music industry. It doesn't matter what type of music you make, you can apply it across the board. So take the information and apply it to whatever situation you are in, and it can help you. So the topic today is about things you need to understand before you start your musical journey. Before I go into that, I'm going to tell you why I can talk about this. I have some experience over the years that I've gathered based on the things that I've been doing with music. So I'm going to just give you a little backstory on why I can talk about this topic. Well, some of you may not know that I am the founder and managing director of 10 Strings Music Group. This logo here, you might recognize it. That's us. And what we do, we are a record label, but we don't really function as the typical record label. The service that we provide is music production, artist management, branding, promotion, marketing, and I basically describe it as a one-stop shop for music. We do have a couple artists that is currently signed to 10 Strings Music Group, which one of them is Bj'orn, Pierre, and David Charles. Pierre, he's an amazing artist, he's an amazing writer, producer, videographer. They've been working together for probably about 6 or 7 years, and he does amazing work. I know you probably hear some of his songs, No Grudge, Prophet. He has a lot of great songs. I'm gonna have it playing here so you will jog your memory a bit. And he also does a fantastic job in writing. One of the recent songs that he did was Safe on the Inside, where he wrote that song for Michelle and Denise. It was produced by Action One Studios, G Pro, and we also did the music video for that song. Also David Charles, he's a new upcoming artist. He released a couple of great songs such as Stand Up Christian, Savior, Every Day. He's a fantastic producer. I can't wait for you guys to hear some of his projects coming out soon. He has an EP coming. He's amazing. We have also done a lot of work with artists that are not currently signed to 10 Strings Music Group. We did music videos, music production for them, some branding. So our team, we do have some experience in the music industry. So if you want to learn more about our team, this video right here, click the link in the description, and it will take you to a video on our 10 Strings Music Group YouTube page where you can see the full story about our whole team. Number one is know your worth. When I say know your worth, understand what you possess. God has given you a talent, whether it be to sing, whether it be to play an instrument, whether it be to produce, whether it be even to be behind the scenes or being a manager or whatever other skills you possess within the music. Know your worth. Know what you have to offer. God has given you something that a lot of people does not possess, and that's a talent and a skill, first of all, to use for His glory, and also to take care of yourself and your family. You can make a living out of your talent and your skills, and that way that you can grow and develop and be better too. So know what you are worth. Value yourself, even among those who may be more advanced than you. Somebody may be a better producer than you or more experienced. So even if you get into the room, don't allow people to take advantage of you. Know what you have to offer, know that the skills that you need to develop as well. Be humble. Don't be arrogant. Be humble as well. But why I chose the first thing on the list to be know your worth, because what we see over the years and what I've seen based on my experience, that people coming into this industry and not understanding what they have, not understanding what the skills that they possess and how valuable it is. And usually they are taken advantage of. There's nothing wrong with putting a price tag on your services. I know that in terms of the gospel industry that people tend to say you should be doing it for God. This is true. But if you want to do this full time, you need to be able to make money from it to sustain it. So there's nothing wrong with putting a price tag on your services, even when you now come into it. What I started doing when I now started, I attach a price to what I had, even though I started off doing stuff for free sometimes, but I still had a price on my services. And as I get better, as I got more skilled in what I'm doing, I raise my price a bit. All right, number 2 on the list, understand copyrighting laws. A lot of people don't even know that Trinidad and Tobago has a Copyright Act of 1997, instituted in 1997, that protect creators from being exploited. That's what basically it is. All right, what is copyright? I'm going to read the definition straight from the Ministry of Legal Affairs Intellectual Property Office. So straight from the source. What is copyright? Copyright is a legal term describing rights given to creators for their literary and artistic work. Which means that you as a creator, you create something, you own the copyright to it. It is your intellectual property. This one, to me, is the most important part. All this information, I'm going to put the link in the description so you can see it for yourself. This is a PDF form, so you just probably have to download it and read through it and get a proper understanding. But this is the most important part for me here. What rights does copyright provide? Copyright gives the original creator of works and their heirs, children's children, certain basic rights to use or authorize others to use the work on agreed terms. The creator of the work can prohibit or authorize its, number 1, production in various forms such as print, publication, or sound recording. 2, public performance as in a play of musical work. 3, recording, for example, in the form of compact discs, cassettes, or videotapes. Number 4, broadcasting by radio, cable, or satellite. Number 5, translation into other languages or its adaptation, such as a novel or into a screenplay. A lot of people don't understand this. It's like, for example, let me give some examples. And it probably might be shocking to a lot who are not in that kind of business, or some people who are in the business don't even know that. Like a photographer. Even if you hire a photographer to do photos for you, like you hire them for a wedding or what other stuff you want to do, and you pay them to take photos, even though you pay for the service, they hand over the photos, the intellectual property is still the photographer's own, and it goes for videos as well. You don't own that, so you can't go and sell those photos to somebody else and make money off of it without the consent of the photographer or the videographer. The same thing with a producer. If a producer produces a beat for you, of course you pay him for that service, but you can't take that beat and sell that and do something else with it without his consent or without a previous agreement where, oh, we can split this, we can do this, we're doing this transaction. The intellectual property or the copyright remains with the person who created it. If you come together, like a producer and a singer and a writer come together, of course, there are ways that you can split the profits, but it has to be agreed upon first by the producer of the song, somebody who composed the song. A lot of people don't understand that, but I'm giving you those info. I didn't understand that at the beginning, but this is free information. So for my producers, for my singers, for my writers, for my musicians, learn and understand the laws that is afforded to us, that is there to protect us. All right, this is another piece of information that is important in regards to copyright. I'm reading from the source. This is from, get that, Office of the Attorney General again, Ministry of Legal Affairs, on copyright. Scroll down to part is registration of your work required? Let me read it here. In Trinidad and Tobago, registration is not required under the Copyright Act to obtain copyright protection. Copyright protection is automatic. No formalities are required as a precondition for obtaining copyright protection. It basically means that if you create the work, you don't have to register every piece of material, every piece of work that you have done. Once you create it, it's automatic that you have the rights to it. Locally for Trinidad and Tobago, we have an organization called CUT. They are our local copyright organization. It's important to register with them as an artist, as a musician, as a writer, because what they do, they collect revenue on your behalf as a creator. So you create a song, you produce a song, and it plays locally on radio, plays all over the world. It plays in an ad. Somebody uses your song to create an ad or in a movie, anything. It would be difficult for that company who use your music to pay you directly or pay whoever on the song or whoever on the production individually. So what CUT does, and remove that hassle from you, they collect those revenues and these monies and these funds on your behalf, so you don't have to go through all that for a small fee. But it's so important to register with our local copyright organization, so you know how to study that. You register, now you're a partner with CUT, they collect the stuff on your behalf. All right, number 3, have your own contract. This is so important, because sometimes we just say, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and we have nothing in writing. So important to have your own contract. For example, as a producer, what you would do when somebody wants to do a song with you is to just upfront tell them that you have a contract and you stipulate what would be transpiring in this production. So they'll say that, okay, this is the amount I charge for my production. So we agree on that fee. We agree probably that you as the producer would be the one loading it up on your streaming platforms. Whoever would be putting it up on YouTube. Agree upon everything before you start that production. Don't wait till the production is over and then you hand over files to the persons and then you ain't agreeing upon anything and things could go haywire that way. Trust me. So have your contract up front, so we will agree on splits of rights and everything before you start the production. Make sure you do that. I'll have a template contract that I use for my photography, for my production as well, potential musical production that we use, and for videography, template that you can edit to your desire. But please have your own contract and speak about those things up front, have it in writing, sign off on it, and then you move forward with the work. Okay, number 4, seek management. I know you're now starting off, you're thinking about getting into this music ministry. I'm not saying up front you should go for management, because managers need something to manage, but eventually you would need management. It is very important. It takes away a lot of the hassle and the hard work of dealing with people and dealing with persons who's seeking your services. What I try to do for the artist that is on the Catering music group is to just remove that hassle so that they could focus more on the creative side and the producing music and coming up with ideas. So it's something that could get hectic at times when you start to produce music and you have stuff to offer and people calling you and people need your services. Management is so important because it removes that kind of that pressure that you have to deal with people back and forth. And sometimes it's so important to have that barrier or that wall. You know, sometimes people might say, oh, all of a sudden I had to call manager, no, you really did. You study that. It's so important because sometimes people try to break you down, break down your price. But if you have a manager could be that wall that could protect you from those things. You don't want to be that person who has to deal with that all the time. Even when you're starting up, probably get a family member or a significant other to help you out in that department, to remove that pressure from you as the artist or the creator. All right, number 5. Things you need to understand before you start your musical journey. Number 5 is so important. It's about contacts and relationships. I can really talk about this for days because I have had the experience to come into this not really knowing anybody in terms of how to get music on radio, how to get this done. But over the years, having relationship with persons and knowing people and meeting persons in the music, on radio stations, on television, that we got up some contacts and developed some relationships with persons. When we now started doing music, one of the first guys who really helped us out in terms of pushing our music on the radio was DJ Mickey from 98.1. Amazing guy. He was the first guy to drop our song on he actually dropped it on our YouTube channel, called us in for interviews, set it up for us. We maintain a real good relationship till this day because he's the one who looked out for us. But understand this, in the beginning it would be difficult because it wasn't, even though we had that experience in the beginning, it wasn't easy to consistently get stuff on the radio or to get interviews because, come on, DJs and radio stations have a lot of people coming to them all the time. I'm sure these guys' inboxes are full. It has a lot to do with relationship and having the contacts in this music game. Let's be real, that's what it is. Some people may not like it, but that's what it is. I have accepted for what it is, and you just have to move on and deal with it. And understand too that sometimes people want to see if you're serious about your music. People want to see that you're really working on your craft and you're just not just, oh, I just want to drop a song on the radio. So understand that contacts, relationship, you had to develop it, you had to grow it. It was very awkward for me. I'm not a person who naturally like to go at people and ask for this, ask for this, ask for that. But over the years, you have to free up yourself and develop those relationships and have those contacts. Don't take it personal. If you take it personal, you will give up. Because this is something you have to consistently do, consistently work at, and develop over there. A lot of relationships, like on 107, over the years, develop a relationship with Jamie Thomas. He's a guy who is after a lot of information about music and about the radio, and over the years, it does grow into sharing stuff and asking me if I need anything and stuff like that. And people on Sky, was the first person who really attached to our team from Sky was Marcus Romero. So over the years, you have to work at that. It wouldn't be easy. It could be frustrating at times because I've been frustrated many times. Sometimes I've been waiting for interviews for days, weeks for a response, and then sometimes it didn't come. But you still have to keep pushing forward and keep trying and keep working at it. And what I suggest to artists and musicians and whatever, who will continue working on your craft and getting better, getting a better sound, more professional, and work on developing yourself and your music and your craft. And that will open up a lot of doors. People will start to hear your stuff. Because what we as a team did, even though sometimes we didn't get interviews, we dropped our songs online, we dropped our songs on YouTube. And when people started hearing it, they're like, oh, contact you and ask you, hey, you wanna send us this music, send us that. Sometimes the radio not readily available all the time. I don't know. That's how important it is. We also have a video intention music group that will give you some ideas and help you out when you're ready to drop a song. You know what to do next by Bj'orn, Pierre. So you could check it out right here, somewhere here. Yeah, I'll leave it in the description. So you could click on it, go and look at it, and you could get some ideas and get some nice information. Number 6, I think we're coming to the end. We're doing a good job. Talent is not enough. I've seen it all the time. I've seen it over the years. People who are so talented get outworked by persons who just hardworking, consistent, and driven, and they don't have as much talent as those who are so talented. So that is not enough. People not automatically going to like what you have because you're talented and you're gifted. You have to work hard at it. You have to be consistent. You have to be driven. You have to want it. Also, this has to be your calling. It has to be your calling and your passion. You have to work at it. You can't give up because you get rejected 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you believe God has called you to do this, move forward. Work at it. Get better. Get more knowledge. Get more information. Ask for mentors. Check upon people who are doing it longer than you. Get advice. I do that all the time. I seriously do that all the time. I'm not too learned to ask for information and ask people to help me. I know sometimes it can be hard, but work at it. All right, so we come to the end. Thank you for sticking it out with me. I'll say it over and over again. Thanks for the people that are supporting and sharing the video, liking it, sending feedback, sending their comments. It goes a long way. And you've always supported. And just like and subscribe. Send it to your friends. Send it to your musician friends. So important to share the information freely. The more we share, the more we try to educate and to give freely to people, the better that we get, the better as an industry that we get, the better that we develop. Don't hoard all the information and keep it to yourself.